Monday morning. It's dry enough to do some fill work, so filling the sprayer up now with water and a little bit of liquid manganese. Going to go on some of the barley, put some of that on, and hopefully if it still stays dry, I'll get on to where we sown that wheat about maybe 2 weeks ago now. Well, no, Thursday, Friday, so 10 days ago, because it's not quite up yet, and I'm going to put a pre-emergent spray on that as well, and hopefully that'll kill any ryegrass, because that field has been used in the past for ryegrass trials. It's one that we took on not that long ago, so we put it in and goes, oh well, if you ploughed you wouldn't need to, you wouldn't have ryegrass. Just at Rainhill now, putting this manganese onto some barley. It looks amazing at the top of the hill, but when you get to the bottom of the hill, you'll see it's sort of a tale of two different fields. It's the ground at the bottom where them tree line is, it's a ditch, and it's just goes from like sandy like soil at the top up here to real sticky horrible clay stuff, and it's just going a bit yellow, it's a bit stressed, and doesn't look as pretty as the top. Yeah, this is the bottom. You can see it's a bit sick. It's put a little bit of a wheel mark coming through it as well, but just yellow and just stressed by the wet. It never really gets much sunlight because of the shade of the trees for most of the day. It's got it now because it's obviously morning, but later on it'll be in the shade. This was where we stitched the barley straight into the grass. It's all there. Looks a bit deeper green where it got a bit of mineralised end from. No, actually it wasn't even this, was it? It was just the fact that it was a wheat crop last year, and this was grass. Anyway, a bit of manganese on it should get it going anyway, hopefully. But it's all there. So, in a field of oilseed rape stubble, it's one that we chopped the straw because it had that black bindweedy stuff in. I wish we'd baled it now because we've obviously ended up with a carpet of oilseed rape straw, and you can't see that we've drilled it with wheat. There's a bit here that you can see a bit green. You can see some lines going that way where we patched up, and then if I flip the camera around, this is some of the wheat we patched up. It's really thin, it's really chewed. The slugs have had a field day on it. They're still very active now, and basically from them telegraph poles, the bottom end of this field is particularly poor. I'll show you the top end when I'm coming back out with the sprayer, because I'm just spraying over there now. I'm on some barley, but yeah, it's, I don't know, there's a good few acres here, maybe 4 or 5 acres that I'm disappointed with, but the rest of the field and all the other wheat I've got in, I'm pretty pleased with. I mean, even here it's not too bad, just, you know, a couple of yards away, it's definitely in the rows, and it is harder to see because of the stubble. But yeah, the slugs have beaten us on this bottom piece. What we could do though, if we get some decent weather, sort of like in January, February, we'll throw a bit of wheat off the pile in the drill and just try and patch them areas up and hope that it catches up, so we're not putting any inputs on bare ground. I was just stood sort of there. Anyway, I've walked this way a little bit, and it's a lot better just you know, 30 metres away, or 33 yards if you're imperial. You know, it's not a bad looking crop here, to be honest. Make an interesting map anyway when we combine it, the yield map on the combine. Now I'm going to go and show you the spray. I've parked in a specific place so that you can see how the boom works. Now I've stopped here because I don't know where you can see, but the sprayer is leaning over that way. Well, then that boom is dipped down and it's flat right across the soil profile, the right height. Then at this point here, then it goes the other way and it's pointing downhill, and that's flat across that profile. So the field actually goes up and then flat. The spray is transverse in a slope, yet the boom is staying completely the same distance from the floor, the same distance from the crop, which is what we're spraying all the way across the back of it. If you go a little bit forwards or zoom in, you'll see how it's twisted in the frame. So the spray is, like I say, the top of it's pointing over there. You see the cab rocked over. The back cross member's sitting flat there, just under the number plate. That ram there is out more to allow that boom to go lower, and then that one as well has done the same, and that's out even more because that's pointing right down the hill. But yeah, it's doing all that automatically as I drive along. I'm spraying a field that was flooded yesterday, and I'm at sort of like the other end of the farm, not far from the yard. I've got 5G on my phone. I've only ever seen it once before when I was driving. It come up on my dashboard, so they must have fixed the mast. So that's pretty good. I should do like a live video because you could do it in like full HD. Anyway, this is the field that was flooded. You can't see because it's just gone behind a pond, but it was over there. But I'll show you how well it's travelled across it anyway, because considering the water only went like on Friday. I've just been on the phone, so I'm not spraying down this tram line because gone round the headland, up and down, done there, and then I'm just going up here empty to do round the pond. Anyway, this is where it's flooded the other day. It's travelled really well considering, you know, we're at a 36 metre sprayer. You can't even see on the headland where we've driven. It just shows you that the land can drain really well if it's got somewhere to go to. So the flood's totally gone. The environment agency there are sat eating sandwiches in the van, doing what they do best. But yeah, there's the flood gone. Just a little bit stained, the wheat. I'm spraying now on this field that had potatoes on that we drilled sort of 10 days ago after potatoes. It's quite soft. You can see over there, but it's made a bit of a, you can't see, it's made a bit of a rut anyway. I'm making a mess, there's no doubt about it, but if I don't put this spray on and it gets overrun with ryegrass, there won't be any profit in this field. The yield will be so suppressed by the ryegrass. So I might have to look at a few ruts on the headlands over the weekend, over the winter. But it's better to have this on. I can't leave it to dry any longer because then I run the risk of the wheat being up because the chemical I'm putting on will damage the seedlings as they come up. It's like a pre-emergent, it's a complete pre-emergent spray. It can't be put on post-emergence, otherwise we'll have some sort of damage. But the middle of the field isn't too bad. In fact, I'll just get to the headland now and I'll show you the difference. So there's sort of some ruts there a little bit, but here, you know, it's just a tread pattern imprinted, to be honest. And that's what most of it is, just 5%. It's got a bit of a wet hole that I'm having to roam through and leave a few ruts behind, but needs must. Yeah, this is the other end of the field, so I've avoided that area there because it's quite wet, and we've cut in a little bit here, but the middle should be okay. So we're just turning back down the tram line now, click the pedal. There's the bleep to say it's engaged, and then off we go. And you can't really see in the mirrors, but it's not cutting in now. One thing about spraying in slightly ideal conditions is when you get a GPS glitch, it stands out a mile. You can see with the sprayer suddenly just shot off to one side. I thought while I look at the GPS glitch, I may as well do the birthday bumper, show you how mucky the wheels are getting, trudging through. It's not cutting that much though. If it had rolled, it wouldn't cut in at all, really, in the middle of the field. It's just sort of around them trees and that headland over there. Anyway, there's the birthday bumper. I'm going to have to start writing down the boom. There's that many at the moment. But yeah, Robert Buckley, David Cowan, Jake White, Tom Kay, Matthew, Ben Small, Ben Cresswell. So it's Matthew Small and Ben Cresswell and Oscar Everington. So happy birthday to all you guys. So there you are on the bumper. Just thought I'd show you this if you can see. So I was going along the field there, and that's when the GPS went completely wrong. So it immediately put me there, then it thought I was there, then back. So we ended up with this like massive, I don't know, 200 metre kind of positioning error. Well, you know, you've got these, oh, will we get driverless tractors and different things like that? Well, that's the reason why we can't, because if you get a GPS glitch, suddenly, you know, you could have wiped out them houses over there. But obviously, when you're sat in it, you steer it back into a straight line, you just end up with a bit of a wobble. I can't just remember how many horsepower this sprayer is. I can't remember if it's 240 or 280. Someone watching will know or will research and leave a comment, no doubt. Or maybe Bateman. But I've used all of it in them wet holes. Every single horsepower, and maybe a few a little bit more besides, because I was doing that. Because it definitely needs it, especially on these tyres, because you start cutting in, then you've obviously kind of got to climb out of the hill, if you will. So, you know, full revs and off we went, but it did it, so pleased with that. Also as well, I've been talking to someone about a calendar, so I don't know how many people would be interested, but I was thinking of getting like the 12 best photographs of the year, and doing like an A4 calendar that folds up to sort of like A4 pictures, and then underneath would be the words. Anyway, I spoke to a company and they could do it if I get the images to them within the next sort of week. So I don't know what people's thoughts are, whether anyone would be interested in an Ollie Blogs calendar of the different. It's going to be machinery. It's not going to be sheep. Sorry to disappoint you. It's going to be machinery, because that's my passion, and I've got loads of pictures of machinery on my phone. So drop a comment if you're interested, and then I can try and gauge whether I'd order 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, 300, I don't know. But yeah, let me know. I'll have to obviously post them all out as well and work out how I sell them. But yeah, leave a comment if you think you might be interested. Summer barley update. It's going a bit flat in places where it's floods along the motorway. It's starting to ripen. The rest of the field's still pretty green when it focuses. I don't know whether to spray it off or not, or just keep my eye on it. I think I'll just keep my eye on it, to be honest, because it is dying back. I think it's fungus that's killing it off, really, because the front, the heads are still pretty green, but the leaves are falling off it now. But it's definitely turning. I mean, was it a week or two ago we were here and it was bottle green? Whereas now it's got that, like, I don't know, red tint to it, I suppose. But let it die back, see what it's like, get a frost and cut it. I mean, to be fair, if it was frosty weather now, I'd nearly be able to cut that, but don't know what it is, how big the grains would be. They don't look as plump as they did the other week. Still be able to dry it though, because we can just put it on one of the drying floors and see what happens. The sunflowers though, they still look amazing. They're just on the edge of the field here now. You know, there's sea of yellow. But that one's only just opening. It's not very big, but something for the pollinators. Did I tell you I worked out what that lump was? I think they spilt some digestate 2 years ago when they were working here. I think they had a tank there and it's where they take the pipe on and off. So that's why, obviously, that's a good bit there. It's now officially a black 936. Black Beauty is the nicknamed. Sam's just finishing doing the black now. I think it needs another coat. Then it needs the lacquer and the sparkly bits putting in it so that it matches the bonnet. This is the fender over here now. So it's now taking shape. Yeah, this was yesterday's quiz question. Yes, them lights are new. Some people did notice, some people didn't. Some people thought we'd put more flags up. We haven't, but I have got more to put up and I will put them up soon. Got to go in now, grab a shower, get to Crewe, because I'm doing a meeting tonight. I've talked to some farmers up in, I think it's Western Discussion Group, I think. Farmers Discussion Group near Chester. No, between near Chester, Crewe direction. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Don't forget, let me know as well if you're interested in a calendar. They won't be as big as the class ones because they cost a fortune to post, but they should have some good pictures on. One last thing I keep forgetting, I'm going to go to the Midland Machinery Show tomorrow. Try and catch up with the Spaldings lot, so if you're there, might see you there.